Days in the sky phenomenon. The outside world thinks it's caused by the demon Tao, so all forces are anxious. Hanju raised his hand and reached into his clothes. The Yuqing sect is in a development phase and can't bear such a heavy responsibility for now. But we understand one principle: those who have attained the Tao help others, while those who have lost the Tao are abandoned. Our sect has decided to send 10,000 cultivators to the front lines. He took out a token and said to Jioding, "Please have Elder Chang lead the team. Also, add the Blood Flame Skygate. They haven't repaid the Qing Yuan, and next, I'll personally guard the rear." Jioding immediately clasped his hands in respect and decisively said, "With Han Elder guarding, I am at ease. I'll go issue the orders right away." Hanju nodded. Make sure to return safely." Suddenly, a voice came from behind, "I'll go too." Shi Quan, holding an umbrella, calmly said, "I'm a core elder, and I'm the master of the 18 peaks of Yuqing. I can't shift the responsibility to others." Hong Quan beside her also spoke, "I'm going too." Hanju stared, "You too?" Hanju quickly asked, "Master, aren't you in seclusion?" Shi Quan shook her head, "Seclusion can start any time. It's only when dealing with demons that seclusion isn't allowed." Hong Quan also loudly expressed, "I was once threatened by the demon Tao, which made me an inner traitor. Now I have the chance to fight against the demon Tao, I don't want to miss it." Hanju was silent for a moment after hearing both of them. After a while, he turned to them and said, "All right, but you must bring this. Everyone's Tianji bones must be replaced with new ones as soon as possible." An armor appeared, and Hanju's voice sounded, "It's in its true form. And add an iron leg armor, it's in a complete state." There was even a moon-like sailor hat, Tianji bones. A complete figure appeared, wearing both armor and carrying a shield and spear. This sight almost made Hong Quan lose her temper. That's not the point. Shi Quan stood nearby, holding onto her skirt to stop her from going crazy, while Hanju was very satisfied. "Darling, there wasn't enough time for engraving and painting, so this will have to do." Hanju instructed Jioding, "Please take good care of the master and Tao companion." Jioding responded with a loud voice, "Rest assured, Elder Han." Watching them leave, Mukai leaned in and asked Hanju, "Master, why do I feel like you're the sect leader?" Hanju glared at him and said, "Stop talking nonsense. You think I'll let you off just because we changed the subject?" He coldly said, "Starting today, you're not allowed to fish anymore. Live the rest of your life in mourning clothes." Mukai howled in pain, "No, without me, the army can't function." Tiandong, standing nearby, interjected, "By the way, didn't Brother Kai used to fish?" Chang'an also chimed in, "Who is the one who buys the most fish from the market? Don't you know?" Mukai was so angry he almost cried, "You guys." Hanju pondered, "With the heavenly immortal mansion leading the righteous path, Kai Niha, your life might not need me to collect it." On the demon Tao side, Niha stared forward with 4 eyes, Suchi. He hovered in the air, looking down at Suchi kneeling below. It's been over 60 years, and more than 5,000 elites have died mysteriously, even losing a Grand Master. The invasion plan was once forced to stop. Investigating further, all the evidence points to the team you're with. You can't pretend you don't know anymore. Still daring to assassinate me? Niha's voice echoed, "Why betray me? Was it arranged by the demon lord? Speak the truth." But Suchi remained silent. Tianggo, standing beside him, worriedly said, "Suchi, why didn't you consult first? Although I give it my all, I'm no match for the demon emperor. You're looking for death. How can you maintain the situation?" It anxiously glanced at Niha. "Your Majesty, of course, it's the traitor demon lord who forced Suchi." "Look." But Suchi suddenly interrupted, "What does the demon lord have to do with this?" The gloomy-faced young man spoke, "Suchi, I'm a righteous cultivator. How could I side with the demon Tao? If you want to kill me, just do it." He thought to himself, "The demon emperor is nothing. My master will definitely come to save me." Tianggo almost cried, "Don't move, don't move." Neha was silent for a moment before saying, since that's the case, Tiango, eat him. This made Tiango almost lose his soul. Wait, Your Majesty, I've already gone vegetarian. However, Neha didn't care, his 4 eyes scanning Tiango. Today he lives, you die. Tiango lowered his head, standing in front of Su Qi. It looked at the young man's appearance. Tiango frowned. No, I can't make a move against a fellow disciple. Remembering the past, Su Qi widened his mouth. What? The demon emperor's beloved dog is actually from the same sect? Tiango sat across from him and nodded. Yes, Su Qi, I still remember you. Su Qi mumbled, the world is so small, it feels unreal. Tiango said excitedly, it's all fate. I wonder how the master is doing now. After the shock, Su Qi looked at Tiango again, thinking to himself, but you look so different from what I remember. Being in the Demon Dao faction, it's hard not to exclude the possibility that you've been corrupted or disguised to gather information about my master. How can you prove you're from Yuqing sect? Tiango loudly swore, I swear by the life of He Mu Kai, I'm truly the pet of the Zhongshan elder. Su Qi disagreed, if you investigate Yuqing sect, you'll see these names aren't enough to prove you're one of us. Tiango continued, the most famous specialties of Yuqing sect are hot and sour soup, chicken feet, and snow ice snails. Su Qi still didn't accept it, since you're talking about the most famous, you can't use that as proof. Tiango continued, remember our territory? Back then, we hadn't named it yet. It was only after you left that it was named Bitter Cultivation to Immortality Mountain. Su Qi shook his head, bitter cultivation to Immortality Mountain? Sorry, I've never heard of it. Tiango's voice grew louder. Master, I am the most handsome in the world. The young man denied, this is officially certified, but it doesn't prove anything. Tiango despaired, then what should I do? Su Qi stroked his chin and thought, I've come up with a simple way to prove you're from my sect. Tiango immediately conjured up a nose and Hanju's clothes, then asked desperately, it's not this, right? Su Qi excitedly said, yes, yes. This is it. You really are one of us. You look just like Master. Tiango said, I want to take back what I said about being the most handsome. The young man said to him, it seems you haven't been corrupted. That's a relief. So, how come you stayed here for so many years without returning? Tiango looked troubled. Well, people outside aren't doing well. There are too many untold hardships. Su Qi asked, you can't serve the enemy, and you must want to go home, right? Tiango hesitated and said, I. Su Qi continued urging, do you want to go home, be famous, and make Master happy? Seeing Tiango not answering, Su Qi continued, it's fine, you see, I'm not conspicuous, and it won't affect going home to see Master. After all these years, if I say I don't care, that's impossible. Moreover, Master doesn't want us to fight. He only wants us to return safely. The task Master entrusted to me has long been completed. I no longer have any desires. I just want to return to his side and continue cultivating in hardship. Tiango said, so you mean? Su Qi smiled and was about to give Tiango a high five, our hearts are still in Yuqing sect, right? So let's hope to leave here soon, and not let the waiting become regret. Tiango's eyes shone brightly. It high-fived Su Qi, saying, let's go home together. To live, we must return to our roots. Awakening from the memory, Tiango tightly shut its eyes, feeling dejected, but I've died once before. If I die again, it will truly be the end of me. Sorry, Master, I'm too useless, I couldn't even protect my fellow disciple. Neha stood behind, frowning, what, are you staying until New Year? Hurry up. Tiango immediately extended its sharp claws. It shouted loudly, Su Qi, I'm sorry. Go back and tell the Master, the Chaos Tiango, do not surrender. Tiango seemed to transform into another form. It turned and said, if there's a next life, I will stay by your side, protecting you, never abandoning you. Neha sneered, how touching. How many people know that in the end, only by submitting can one survive? Suchi stared blankly and looked up, no, don't. Tiango rushed toward Neha like flying, I'm going first today. Demon Emperor, die. This saint, will end you. Neha coldly said, you foolish dog, unaware of death. Suddenly, there was a loud boom, and smoke soared into the sky. Tiango was knocked flying. Suchi shouted, dog. Neha stood calmly and said, actually, I've known all along that your master is Hanju. When you were resurrected, I had seen your memories. My intuition told me he would be a major threat to the revival plan. Neha frowned and showed a regretful expression, your loyalty, I'm glad and disappointed. Wait obediently, I will send him to meet you soon. Tiango lay quietly there. Suchi's eyes widened, tears almost spilling over. The young boy's eyes suddenly shot out two beams of light. His body seemed to have a powerful spiritual force trying to break through. Hundreds and thousands of spiritual lights burst forth, red like the flowers of the other shore. He was startled, this power, could it be? The heavenly god appeared, smiling as he looked back, finally, I've found you. The heavenly god stood proudly in the blazing fire, mocking, even Li Chiu-mo's fourth level of the great Ascension realm couldn't defeat me, what do you count as? Neha loudly interrupted, how can you, at the ninth level of the tribulation crossing realm, possibly kill someone at the great Ascension realm? The heavenly god smirked, still far from it, Neha, die now. Neha nervously furrowed his brows. The heavenly god's eyes lit up, and a strong light burst out, causing a tremor in the air. The rooster cried in grievance, sitting in a hole in the tree, with a line of text posted, locked up. Below, Tiandong's voice came, Master, the black-eyed rooster has returned to live in the tree, and the tree of Tang is much more settled now. Chang'an was puzzled, why haven't those two golden crows left yet? Hanju shook his head, it's easy to invite the gods, but hard to send them away. Tiandong put his hands on his hips, it's so far, there's nothing to be done. I heard the righteous and demonic paths stopped fighting for a few days because of this. Suddenly, Hanju shuddered, remembering something, the gods are here, we can ask my old brother. He said to the three, Chao, Chang'an, and Tiandong, Master has a method, don't get too close to me for now. The three were confused, huh? Meanwhile, in a certain place, the battle between righteous and demonic forces was raging. A sword was suddenly struck out of someone's hand. Another person had their sword slip out of their hand. The righteous and demonic forces paused, looking up at the sky as thousands of swords flew into the sky. The eternal sword path, how could someone have comprehended it? My God, they really know how to pick their moments. The righteous stood below, speechless, can't you stop? Let us finish our fight first, before you comprehend it. Now look, how are we supposed to fight without swords? We were defeated this way last time. The demon cultivators laughed excitedly, mocking them, it seems the eternal sword path isn't close to sword cultivators anymore. Only accepting swords and not knives. But we have more than just knives, we have axes and hooks. Let's see how you deal with that. Seeking the sword nodded, makes sense. We were at a disadvantage last time, this time, we must be prepared. After saying that, the righteous pulled out a large number of long spears, standing there. Who knew sword cultivators also practiced with spears? Everyone knows long weapons counter short ones, let's see how you handle this. The demon cultivators immediately fell silent. Hundreds and thousands of swords flew into the sky, gathering into a large mass, like a giant crystal. When the man, standing in the form of divine consciousness, looked at the massive crystal, he heard a voice calling, Senior. He turned around, Senior. Hanju appeared behind him with shining eyes, asking, Senior, do you know about the golden crows? The man immediately became displeased, you specifically comprehended the sword path just to ask me about the golden crows? Hanju quickly explained, of course not. I like the sword path, and luckily I comprehended it. I was just casually asking, Senior. The man, wearing an ancient helmet, turned around. Since you're here, you can treat the sword path as your backyard for all these years. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Leave soon. Sooner or later, you will go there. I will explain it to you. He reached out and created two small spheres. The golden crows are ancient divine beasts, divided into mortal golden crows and divine golden crows. His voice was flat. The mortal golden crow is the son of the mortal realm, never able to leave the mortal realm, and its cultivation cannot increase. The divine golden crow is a divine race from the heavenly realm, with a profound background. The heavenly palace and the demon palace both dare not act against it. Hanju looked up at the image the man created, thinking, the mortal golden crows cannot leave. So, there must be only two suns in the sky, which are likely divine golden crows. He asked the man, Senior, can the divine golden crows enter the mortal realm? The man shook his head, of course not. The true sunfire is on them and could destroy the mortal realm. The heavenly rules strictly forbid them from descending to the mortal world. Suddenly, the man thought of something. Wait, you're asking this, could it be? He extended his hand and drew a long line, locating the red cloud realm. I almost forgot. The divine golden crows have been fighting among themselves these years. A bright sky suddenly unfolded before them, and he murmured, if this is really the case, something as significant as the red cloud should have been reported. Hanju pondered, red cloud. When he clearly saw the scene in front of him, with three suns, the man asked Hanju, oh, no, why are there two golden crows in the mortal world? Though they are just young golden crows. Hanju retorted, Senior, are young golden crows strong? He stroked his chin, not strong. He looked up and thought, I saw that they had just been born, and their cultivation is only at the Great Ascension stage. Hanju was stunned upon hearing this. They've just been born and are already at the Great Ascension stage? Hanju loudly told the man, why isn't the Golden Crow clan teaching them? If they enter the mortal world, it would be a huge disaster for ordinary people. The man shrugged in confusion. Who knows, after all, the Golden Crow clan's internal affairs are very complicated, and the outside world can't easily interfere. He turned his face away, and my duty is to protect the Sword Dao. Other matters have nothing to do with me. I haven't seen anything, so don't expect me to help you. Hanju remained silent. He stood there. Forget about relying on others, it's better to rely on yourself. You still need to quickly break through to the 9th heavenly tribulation stage. Hanju looked at the massive crystal formed from swords and made up his mind, I must avoid even those two little guys beating me. A beam of light shot into the sky, and the Xianhuang sword chi officially upgraded to the Tai divine ability. The rooster sat on the tree, watching the light beam, worried, remember to fish on the third day. Time passed, the sky grew darker, the moon rose, Li Qiuemo bravely sacrificed himself, and the demon emperor was forced to retreat. The remaining demons were all massive in size. The green one was the demon Lacan, at the 3rd level of the Great Ascension. The white-haired, red-eyed woman was the white-haired demoness, at the 3rd level of the Great Ascension. The man who seemed more experienced was the blood demon ancestor, at the 5th level of the Great Ascension. The rest were the emotional army demon lord, at the 8th level of the Great Ascension. The blood demon ancestor said, I don't know why the demon emperor's recovery speed is getting slower. He says he is often backfired by the demonic energy inside his body. In my opinion, he's definitely being affected by something outside. It's not a solution to keep entangling with him. The Lacan nodded, yes, there's no point in sustaining this. They looked at the vacant space where Qiuemo was and said, who would have thought the new generation of the celestial immortal mansion would be so powerful, especially Ji Xianshan. He's probably already surpassed the scope of geniuses. The blood demon ancestor continued, the cultivation at the 9th heavenly tribulation stage can actually kill someone at the 4th level of the Great Ascension. If he breaks through to the Great Ascension stage, wouldn't he be invincible? He thought deeply, even if we join forces, we might not be able to defeat him. Moreover, as we all know, from his birth until now, he has experienced countless battles and accumulated enough experience. Once he hits the Great Ascension